as usual, economics never have enough time to cover everything. So quantity supply. Very slow today. Okay, quantity supply only have one determinant. Same thing. Singular plural. Singular plural. Singular, so one factor only, which is price of the good itself. Right? Price of the good itself. Right? Supply have a lot of determinants. Okay, they include the price of related goods, the cost of production and technology, time, number of suppliers, and others. Others also include the expectation of future price. Right? Those are demand. Something you need to take note. For the common factors is harder to write. Common factors between demand and supply. Because you need to think which one is the correct one. Should you write demand or supply? Right? Make sense or not? The common factors include this one. So you look at this question, right? Starting from supply onwards, now you have demand and supply to write. So you need to think which one to write. Okay? Another common one is this one. Right? Think properly. It's different from demand explanation, although the factors are the same. Right? It's like, for example, I just give you a very, very quick one. Just previously we said what? Rainy day, you will demand for more umbrella, right? Rainy day, what happened to supply of umbrella? What happened to supply of umbrella? No change. Because why? During rainy day, the factory workers still go and produce umbrella. They still go from 9 to still do 8 hours only. Why the supply will suddenly increase? They still produce, like every day they produce 1,000 umbrellas. They still produce 1,000 umbrellas. Right? Makes sense or not? Do they? Oh, because today is rainy day. Oh, yo, I want to get MC. So the supply decrease. Today, traffic jam. I cannot go to the factory and work. So supply decrease. Cannot be decreased. Can it be increased? No, I still work 8 hours a day. Because it's rainy day, I need to work extra, is it? I need to work 12 hours a day, is it? No one? Right, makes sense. So you must think producer is different from consumer. Write properly. Think about the umbrella case just now. Later I will share with you more examples. Make sense? Producer, you're a producer now. Right? If you don't know what's producer, go to register for e-commerce store. I start to sell something, then you know what's producer. Right? Okay. And same for this one. This one is also a common one. Expectation of future price. Right? So you want to write about demand now or supply now? Think properly when before you write. Okay. Some common ones, they are good to write because you just need to remember the field. Then you can write demand and supply. But they are also more complicated. Right? Okay. Now we talk about change in quantity supply first. The explanation is still the movement along, upward, downward. Upward is still expansion, downward is still conversion. Right? The only determinant is still the change in the price of the goods itself. For example, if the price of the bun itself, remember, must add the word itself. I add in front of you. False. The quantity supply of the bun will fall. Right? The bun must be the same bun. It cannot one be hot cross bun. Another one is, I don't know what type of bun. Right? Okay? Makes sense. Right? Makes sense. It cannot be one is hot cross bun, another one is donut. Cannot be. Hot cross bun must be hot cross bun. Donut must be donut. Then only you can use price of the good itself. Then only you can use quantity supply. Okay? If the price of phone itself increases, the quantity supply of the same phone will actually increase. Make sense? Make sense? Okay, must be the same bun, same phone. Cannot be different phones. Different phones and different bun, it will be under supply, not quantity supply. Okay? Supply is easier, right? Because there are many factors, right? Supply. Okay, it's always shift right, shift left, or shift in, shift out. Increase is shift out, increase is shift in. For example, the supply bicycle will increase if the government subsidized. I told you before, government subsidized, right? Government subsidized bicycle. So it is not related to the price of the bicycle itself. So it's supply shift, right? You know why? You know why? You know why government subsidized bicycle? You know why? Most obese country in Asia. Guess what? Ladies and gentlemen. In Asia. Ta-da-da! Congratulations! You get #1 in Asia again, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Because you all always drive, you always do exercise. Right? Okay? Malaysia. 10. Malaysia 10. Certainly. Everything also get #1 in the wrong thing. Right? So Malaysia is the most obese country in the Asia. Because of that, government may want to subsidize the bicycle. Is it related to the price of bicycle? No. So it's related to other things. Other things means supply shift. We don't use quantity supply. We use supply shift. Make sense? Make sense, huh? Make sense or not? It's not related to the bicycle go up or down. The price related to other things like subsidies. Right? Okay. Make sense, huh? This one, we are ranking like how many years already? Ranking for how many years already? Still ranking #1. Wait, let me check the news. Which date is this? Since 2014. My God, you're the best. Right. 2014. Until now. You see how obese is your country. Okay, so now same thing, draw. Change in quantity supply, draw on the page. Page 53. For change in supply, draw in page 54. Right? This one draw in page 53. This one draw in page 54. Right? Put your product name, one product name. Right? For those who draw supply curve the first time, congratulations. Also, because we are going to draw at least 100 supply curve. It's very easy to achieve. One curve, I feel you already draw 30 or 40. Right. Again, same thing. Right. The change in supply, the label change in supply to shift in supply. Because change in supply is very hard to shift in supply and change in supply. We use shift in supply better. Yes? Right. See, it's very easy. Right? Hello. I don't want to be like the honest answer. I want to every day remind you, need to put a product name, thinking yourself. Where your own product name. Are you following my nagging? Right? Product name very important, remember, from labels, the product name is very important. Okay. Okay. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, change in quantity supply, there will only be one curve. Then we draw a dotted line. This point change to another point, right? Shift in supply, there will always be at least two lines. Makes sense. Shift in supply, always the two lines. Okay. Next will be this one, explanation. Right, that's why I say, right, increase in quantity supply is expansion of supply. It will be because the price of the good increases from P1 to P2. So the quantity supply, remember to write properly, quantity supply will increase from Q1 to Q2, which is the movement along the curve from A to B. This is how you write. This is known as expansion of supply, like that. Okay, if you want to write like that, if you don't want, also never mind. Just follow your way, right? If price of the good itself decrease from P1 to P3, right? The quantity supplied will fall from Q1 to Q3. Because now, lower price, less profitable. Makes sense? As a result, there will be a movement along the curve from A to C. This shows contraction of supply. For the shift, when the supply shift out, is increased. So it's a shift right or shift out. Right? Shift right or shift outward. Makes sense. It's increase in supply, which means that producers are now more willing and more able to produce the good at all prices. Because all the price, all the point will shift together. So they're more willing, more able. Right? If the supply decrease, also we call this shift inward other than shift leftward. Right? It shows that producers are now less willing. They're not really willing to supply so many. All the points will shift together. All the points will shift to the left together. That's why all the prices shift in. This decrease in supply. Questions? Does that make sense so far? Makes sense, huh? It's similar to demand. So I go through it very fast. But actually the same thing. Right? Okay, movement along is still the same. The shift is still the same. Now we go to the shift. Right? Let's say the first one is the price of substitutes. Price of substitutes. Right? In here, when you write about supply, the substitutes definition have to change a little bit. Right? For supply, right? Please take note the substitute definition is different. Substitute definition can be defined as goods or services. Okay. Yeah, it's still alternative, but a little bit different. That they use the same resources to produce because it's producer. They use the same resources to produce. For example, in here is candy and lolly, right? For candy and lolly, this is my example, right? Candy and lolly. What type of resources they use? The same. Sugar. So next time I'll read the song Sugar. But this time it's watermelon sugar. Okay, sugar, what else? That's all. flavoring, flavors, right? What else? What dye?
DY.
DYE. They dye the thing. Okay, lor. Dye. Then what else? Huh? Preservatives, you? Packaging. Packaging and preservatives, yeah, you're right. So they may use the same plastic, right? They may use the same preservatives. What else? They use the same label. They might use the same machine. Make sense? All these are using the same resources to produce. Make sense? Okay, very important this concept. Take note, right? Because some goods and services in producer side, they are not necessarily the same substitutes in terms of consumption, but they are using the same resources, right? Like for example, if I use coconut furniture, the substitutes may not be coconut house, tree house, but they are using the coconut tree to produce. So if I use the coconut tree to produce coconut house, I can now use the coconut tree to produce coconut furniture. Makes sense? Okay, this is producer side. Okay, now using my candy and lolly example, same thing. Before I draw anything, before I look at the question, I will label my curve, draw one supply curve. If I know I'm going to do supply, right? Like that. This is lolly. That's it. Right? My question to you is, ladies and gentlemen, if the price of candy increases, what will happen to candy? Shen. Increase what? The price of candy increase, what will happen to candy supply? I'm looking for one word, very important word. Candy and candy. Okay. The quantity supply, not supply. Quantity supply will what? Increase. Make sense? So how you need to draw? You have to draw like that. When the price of candy increases, the P0 increase to P1, leading to expansion, Q0, QS, increase to QS1 or Q1. Make sense? This one, quantity supply, increase. All right? Cannot. What will happen to lolly? Parisha. I can't hear you. Yes, supply of lolly will increase. Yeah, man. No, for substitutes. If I use all the resources to produce candy, because candy is now more profitable, supply of lolly will decrease. Because I use all the sugar, all the flavors, all the dye, all the packaging, all the preservative, all the label, all the machine to go and produce candy. Now candy is more profitable. So I will have lesser sugar, lesser resources, lesser machine to produce lolly. So supply will actually shift to the left. So supply of lolly decreases. Look at the direction. One is increase, one is decrease. So they have a what relationship? They have a negative relationship. Okay, now your turn. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen, please look at your menu. Look at what products. That's why they are negative, right? Look at the products. Tofu on the what? On the left hand side. Butter on the left hand side. Margarine on the right hand side. Right? In page 54. Page 54. It asks you increase or decrease. Increase. So you just draw a coordinate. Price of butter increase. What happened? Follow my diagram. It's always possibilities and convenience. They are always except for the question behind your homework. The question behind your homework, right? Later when I share with you, it's a little bit special. Right. Kind of. The question asks me, feel free to ask, no phones, no thing. 1 second. Right. 1 second is what yes. No, don't do the on the video. Do you already next up? Come to me again, take that explain slowly. Get the front and so exercises. A lot of sound. Or you just want to prepare already. Right? Done? Can I continue? Can I continue? Because now very fast already. Now already know already how to draw all this stuff. Faster than demand already. Right? Next one is complements. Complements, they are produced together. Yeah. Yeah, you can go already. I will see you. Bye. Just produce together better. Produce together, right? So change the complements to produce together in my slides. Okay. So for complements, their definition also changed a little bit. They are goods or services that must be produced together. Produced together. Okay, like my example here is fish and chips. Fish and chip, they must be produced together. If you order fish and chip, they only give you the chips. Then that one is French fries. That one is not fish and chip. Right? If you only order fish and chip, hey, they give you the fish, they never give the chips, then you will complain also. So they must be produced together. Right? Make sense? Right? It's like you order iced lemon tea without lemon. Doesn't make sense. Iced lemon tea must have lemon and tea. Makes sense. Makes sense, huh? They must be produced together. Right? Whether you want to consume them together is another thing. I can choose not to eat the fries. I can choose not to eat the fish. Makes sense. Okay. So there's a typo here in my slides. Remember to change it. I always forget to change this. So produce together. Right, produce together. So let's look at the fish and chip. Right. Fish and chips, same thing. Draw first. If I know the question is asking about supply, I draw first. Draw fish and chips. Right? Chips. Draw first, regardless of what the question. Then only I read the question. Right? Now, same thing. If the price of fish increases, what will happen to the supply of fish? Raw. Quantity supplied? Yeah. Increase. You're right. Quantity supply. So same thing, draw, the price goes up. Your manual also put price increase, right? For the complement. So I just follow up. Right? So quantity supply will increase from Q0, Q1. This one. What will happen to chips? Jasmine. Supply of chips will increase also. Makes sense? Because I serve them together. If it's more profitable to provide fish, I also need to serve the chips. Right? It is different from cost of production. A lot of them confuse complements with cost of production. Right? Cost of production is another factor. It's a next factor, cost of production. Why is it different? Because I don't use the chip to put the fish. I don't use the fish to put the chips. So they're two separate things. They're complements. If I use the cooking oil to put the fish, they are cost of production. Makes sense? Cooking oil is the cost of production. They are not complement. Makes sense? Makes sense? So supply will increase for chips. Okay, supply of chips will increase. Look at the direction, same direction. It shows what relationship? Your turn. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Please complete the diagram on page 55. And rest of explanation. Always don't wait for my explanation. Write your own. Right, you see explanation column below. What's there? What happened? Write yourself. Start with what is the substitutes or what's the complement? Right? So substitutes is the supply. Because there is right? For example, what the produce of all the substitutes. They use the same resources. They use the same ingredient, same metal, same material, same chemical. If something is not available, you produce a performance. That's the if one is not available, I need to set the level together. Also, like glasses and the spray, but Glasses and a flame. It's right together. Done? Okay, continue. Let me continue. Most of it done, right? Next one is cost of production. Like what I say, cost of production is different from price of complements. Take note. Cost of production is different from price of complements. All right? Make sense? Or doesn't make sense? Make sense or don't make sense? Can I give you 30 seconds to think about it? What is the difference between cost of production and price of complement? Right? Because students always write wrongly. When it's a cost of production, they go and write complement. When it's a complement, they go and write cost of production. Right? Like the let me give you another example. Happy Meal. McDonald's Happy Meal. Right? McDonald's Happy Meal. Their complements is the box of the Happy Meal. The box of the Happy Meal. Right? Okay? That one is complement. Right? When I serve more Happy Meal, I also need to give it a more box. That one is complement. Makes sense or not? But do I need to use the box to cook and go and cook the burger? Do I use the box to cook the fries? Do I use the box to cook the drink? If I don't use the thing to cook the thing, then they're complements. If I need to use the thing to cook the thing, that's cost of production. Make sense or not? Make sense? Make sense? You all say one? We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Right? So cost of production, we can also relate it to electricity, raw materials, resources. Right? Any resources that we use to produce another thing is considered cost of production. Right? In accounting, cost of production is known as expenses. Expenses. Right? So it includes what? Labor. If labor cost increase, labor wage increase, right? Labor salary increase is considered cost. Equipment, all the rent, all the interest increase, water price, electricity price, right? Right. Oil price, they are all cost of production. So when the cost increase, supply will decrease. This one, starting from this one, you don't need to draw already, right? I didn't give you any boxes, man. So just pay attention, right? If the cost of production, green thing, good, green is good, cost of production falls, the supply will increase, right? Next one is technology. Technology, you can link it to a lot of stuff nowadays, right? You can link it to AI. AI normally will reduce the cost of production, so it will increase the supply. Technology will normally reduce the cost of production, so increase the supply. Make sense? Make sense? Right? Like now, how many of you use ChatGPT? Huh? The rest, you don't use ChatGPT. Do you know what's ChatGPT? You never use. So Hawking, use? What time? You use ChatGPT? No. Huh? Only once? You?
So
whatever. I don't really care you use it for study or for fun. Yeah? Right? ChatGPT. Let's say I use ChatGPT for copywriting. Copywriting, ChatGPT. Right. Oh, lucky. Didn't let you see my. All right. Let's say this is ChatGPT. Currently, it looks like it's banned in Sunway. Let me try. I think uni banned already. Toilet. Go lah. Right. I see whether it can open or not. I want to show you. Did someone uni ban ChatGPT? Yes, sir. Too bad lah. You cannot use it. Okay, cannot share it. Too bad. Okay. All this will reduce the cost. In conclusion, all this will reduce the cost. Because starting yesterday, right? When I want to use ChatGPT, right, it always show me this thing. Free research preview may produce inaccurate blah blah blah. But it never show me the thing that I want. Okay lah, it's banned already. Too bad for you lah. You'll use it at home lah. Right? Okay, then I don't need to talk about this. Next is climate. Why someone unique go and ban ChatGPT? What happened? You use it too extensively. You never follow procedure. Climate, this one I want to talk. Right? Same thing, you have to talk about seasons. You can talk about 4 seasons. You can talk about rainy season, climate. You can talk about festival season. You can talk about monsoon season. Make sense? Make sense. Do you know what's monsoon season? You know, you learned before, right? Monsoon season. Now it's what season? Huh? I know which type of monsoon season. Nonsense. Okay. Okay. Anyway, never mind. So the thing I want to share with you is monsoon and monsoon season. Climate will only affect primary sector in supply. All right. For example, agriculture, if it's flooding, the supply of paddy will decrease. Makes sense. But what about rice crackers? It stays the same. Why? Do you need to go to work to the factory in the factory if it's a rainy day? Need well, can you tell the boss, oh sorry, today is raining and I did not bring my umbrella, so I don't have umbrella, so I cannot come to office, I cannot work. No, right? Mining in the minefield, not minefield, in the gold mine or whatever, diamond mine, it will be affected by weather. But jewelry would not be affected. Supply of jewelry will be affected because there's an earthquake in the mine. Something like that. Makes sense. Right? Primary sector and secondary sector is different. Fishing. Fishing, what about fishing? During fishermen cannot, so they will decrease the fish. But will it affect your canned tuna supply? It will not affect. Because all the factories, they already have what 100 tons of fish inside the factory fridge. You still produce the canned tuna as usual, right? Unless they say they're using 100% fresh daily catch, which is impossible for canned tuna. Makes sense? Makes sense, huh? So you understand, right? Unless, because in economics everything depends, unless you say the factory is near the beach, then there's a tsunami. Then yes, it's affected. Right? Unless you say the factory is near the volcano, then suddenly there's a volcano eruption. Yes, it's affected. Okay? Makes sense, huh? Otherwise, it will not be affected. Right? Right? Makes sense, huh? Okay? Don't tell me later on, because it's flooding outside, sorry sir, I cannot come to uni. Because I'm still here. I'm still producing education. It's not affected. Education is tertiary sector. I'm still not affected, right? I still come here. I still work 8 hours a day. Not making any sense if you say you cannot come. Not making any sense, right? Buy a boat if you need, right? Next one is number of suppliers. Okay, how many suppliers are there? How many fast food suppliers in here? You can roughly see. Roughly see, right? Fast food. Can you see this? Wow, you can tell, no bad. So blur also you can tell. This one? This one? Is this considered fast food? This one looks like star something. Not sure. Okay. Star something. Okay. So there are many things in here. Right. The more suppliers we have in the same product, the supply will increase. Right? If we have lesser supply, the supply will increase. Makes sense, right? Right? Like during COVID-19, a lot of them in a shopping mall closed down. Right? So the supply decreased. But after COVID-19, they're still closed down. You will see a lot of shops, right? During COVID-19, there are always a sign. Something fresh is brewing. Then they put the entire unit. Something fresh should be brewed for 2.5 years already. It also can come up to already. Still growing. I don't know what type of coffee that's right. So this is showing the supply will decrease. Right. After COVID-19, most of the shopping mall units they are already rented out again. Right. You can see Summit Pyramid, very bad. Summit Pyramid. Don't want to continue the contract with Aeon, so then they can earn more money, so they can put in to smaller partition to rent to more suppliers, right? So later on you will see a lot of more smaller shops inside. Next one is expectation. Like I say, expectation is also a common factor that affect demand and supply. So you must know how to write. Okay, expectation of future price for sellers is different. Because when the seller increase the price, expect the price to increase, what will they do now? Let's say I'm a grocery, yeah, you're right, grocery store, right? I know the price of rice is going to increase. I already have 1,000 bag of rice in my store, right? I let you think, right? Now I'm a grocery store owner, right? I know tomorrow price of rice is going to increase. I still have 1,000 bags of rice in my store. Do I sell it now or sell it tomorrow? Tomorrow lah, right? Make sense or not? Impossible, ma. I'm so stupid. No, I cannot use this word. I'm so STUPID, man. Right? Suppliers, they are not STUPID one, right? Sorry, they don't allow me to use this word. So I have to spell out the word STUPID, right? Suppliers, they are not STUPID. So what happened? They will store it first, or right? Okay, makes sense. Store it first. Then tomorrow I sell. But now today, the supply will decrease now. So I want to see future and now. Make sense, huh? Future and now, huh? Very important. Last one is government policies. The last one is government policies, right? Government policies, there are two things you can write. One is tax, another one is subsidy. Depends on what you want to write. If you feel like you want to write tax, you write tax. Right? If you want to write subsidy, you write subsidy. Right? Tax increase will lead to supply decrease. Right? Subsidy increase will lead to supply increase. However, having said that, sometimes we don't go like that. Our question don't go like that. We will add one more word in front. Take note of one more word in the cons. Very important. Removal. If we add removal of tax, what will happen? What will happen to supply? increase. If we add removal of subsidies, what will happen? Supply decrease. So don't only read, oh, go subsidy, then draw already. You must read whether in front there's a removal of tax or removal subsidy. Makes sense? Or whether it's an impose of tax or subsidies. One word can make a difference. The direction will be totally different. So in economics, actually the main takeaway for you, other than depends, right, is read your question properly. That's all. Right? I need to train your back from your world back to reality. Reality is different. Okay? Make sense or not, ladies and gentlemen? Any question? You ask me. No, no question. Okay. Your homework today, homework today, a lot of it. Homework today is a lot, no? Today is Friday, wow, even more. Today's Friday, right? Wow, better. What the cry? Watch movie, cannot watch movie really. It's okay. Your movie is showing next week, right? You say, okay, got time. So do question 2. Question 2 is a trap, ladies and gentlemen. Question 2 is a trap. Okay. Take note. Question 2 is a trap. I tell you the trap already. You go and do it yourself. Okay. Take note. Question 2 is a trap. And you can start to do. That'd be nice to you. Should I? I don't think about that. It's just question two less. Do you want to write essay? No. No. You have to practice like that. Let me say, no, I want more. Not 1 essay, sir. 2 essays, 3 essays. Like that, Hey. I never give you question 2 enough already. Question 2, but it's a trap, think properly and write. Okay? Can? And study for your test, Please study for your test. All right. Bye-bye. Why they go invent ChatGPT?